You know, it took everybody, players, coaches, crowd. It took everybody, and we found a way to regain the momentum in the fourth quarter. It was tough. I mean, that was as hard-fought a game as I've ever been a part of in my time. Our guys found a way at the end, and you just couldn't help but think about on that 4th and 1 where the ball was at. That was the same situation we were in against them a couple years ago, and defense created a turnover. Well, this time the defense created a turnover on downs, and offense found a way to hit a big play and keep it moving. And then Evan, just like he did in his first career game winner against the Minnesota Vikings, found a way to do it again. So just couldn't be more proud of everybody involved in this whole thing. Anyone that represents the Bengals, man, this is a good day.
Zach, do you anticipate DJ Reader and Jamar Chase being able to finish the season?
DJ, I don't with DJ. You know, I'll get more information, but I don't think it's positive for DJ. We'll see on Jamar. I don't know yet enough on Jamar.
What more information do you have about DJ? I think there's a report.
I don't want to. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I don't want to be definitive on it when I'm just coming off the locker room.
How appropriate is it, Zach, that with DJ out of the game, the one spot they run to is where DJ would have been? You got guys like Josh and obviously
Yeah.
DJ.
It took everybody. I mean, it was really proud of the way our defense bowed up there at the end and got some big stops for us. And in the first half, they kept us in it, to be quite frank, because you know, we didn't have much momentum on offense outside that first drive, and they got those 2 takeaways in the red zone. And so that game really, it could have been an uphill battle. It could have been very similar to the Tennessee game in week 4 when they got the ball to start the second half and it scored a bunch of points, and this time our defense just bowed up and kept us in it. Offense was able to find some momentum in the second half, and then defense again came. So it was collective effort in all 3 phases, and couldn't be proud of our guys.
What changed offensively for y'all in the fourth quarter?
I think it was really the whole second half. Felt good. We had the turnover on the first drive, and I don't know that we punt. Did we score on every drive since then? I think. And so I could be wrong on that, but it felt like we were finally able to get some first downs, to get some momentum. And in the first half, we got a holding penalty that put us in second long, a sack that put us in second long, and that's tough to overcome against those guys. That's a hell of a team, and they make it really hard for you. And so again, we put ourselves. They put us in some tough spots, and we weren't able to overcome it.
Why is Jake Brown capable of delivering moments like this?
Jake's just so steady, you know, and he really is. And so he doesn't get rattled by a negative play, doesn't overreact to it. You know, I think the interception is just a great example of that. A guy in his 4th ever career start throws a pick. You know, I think it was cover 2 in the corner, just kind of played games with him, and he tried to bait him and throw it over the top, and then just came right back the next drive and led us to a touchdown drive. And so that's what you want to see from your quarterback, a guy that doesn't get too high, too low, is able to move on, and that's exactly what he did, and that was really impressive. And I thought, trust me, the protection plan, Brian Callahan does a heck of a job, and those guys bought into it. And it might not have every snap been perfect. Harrison Smith is a heck of a player, man. He makes life really, 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 really hard on you. And so you got to give credit to those guys. But I thought our guys stepped up when he needed to, and were able to give Jake some time to do what he needed to do.
Against a team that brings it like that, there are going to be some plays where it's just kind of throw it up to your guys. I mean, T's play, and then obviously the one at the end he scrambles to hit boy.
Yeah.
I mean, how much is that something that you kind of have to count on? Is sometimes you do just kind of throw it up to your guys?
Yeah, I mean, when you got great players, Jay Norvell used to tell me, just think players, not plays. And there was I think it was cover 0, and he just launched one up to T, if I'm not mistaken, and T went up and got it and scored a touchdown. And you know, that's the one area of the field I can't see, so I still don't really know what happened, but. You know, just proud of the way, you know, I can list names all day on guys that stepped up, and guys that maybe faced some adversity at some point in the game. Maybe a play didn't go their way, and then they just put their head down and came right back and made some big plays for us down the stretch.
Do you think does this feel like kind of a microcosm of T season, maybe struggle a little bit early and then find a way to kind of find his form and really come up with big plays?
All I can say is we always count on T. Higgins, and T stepped up big for us, and you know, those were 2 big touchdowns he scored for us there at the end of the game, and he had some big catches across the middle at other points. And so again, we're always counting on T, and he came through big for us.
Yeah, your guys find a way to win what felt like a game of inches over and over again in a game like today to stay in this playoff race. What does it continue to say about the fight in the locker room? The guys going down to win this game?
I mean, it was an emotional game. I mean, that thing was a roller coaster. That's kind of like the season a little bit, and you have to be able to stay composed and not panic. And just like when you're down in the season, you're down in this game, and our guys just there's no fear. There's no, oh, here we go. It's just who's going to step up and make the play that keeps us in this thing. And I remember being down 14, I think at the end of the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken, and just feeling like we're in this. We just have to score. Our defense will get a stop, and we don't have to start throwing the ball every play because it's a 2-score game. It didn't feel like that, and that came true for us.
On that same note, after the game, when the guys were walking to the locker room, multiple players screamed out one word, believe. Is that what you guys are preaching?
That's not coming from me. Maybe those guys watched Ted Lasso on the way in the stadium, but the guys do believe. That's just, again, we've talked a lot about we have to be our strongest here in December and January, and just kind of reflecting back over the last couple of years, everything we do is geared towards off-season training camp, regular season being at our best now. And these last 3 weeks, we've been pretty dang good, and so we just have to keep that moving. And we got a big one next week, we know that, and we got to get our minds right, get rested. It's a physical game. Guys are going to be worn out. Get their minds right and come back in here on Tuesday ready to work.
This game and the Jacksonville game, why has been so good, like situational moments and fourth quarter overtime coming in?
Man, we talk about it. We meet on it every week as a team. Chuck Burks, Jordan Kovacs, they're our situational masters this season. They've done a great job educating the guys on situations that don't come up that often. Again, when you've got great veterans that understand these moments, there's no panic, and so they do a really good job staying composed and just making plays.
These are the kind of wins that give you confidence this team should be a playoff team by the end of the year.
That's not how I think about it. Now I'm just immediately thinking about Pittsburgh and what do we need to do, and it's really too much to think down the road. All we could control is what we did the last 3 weeks, and so just keep winning. And you don't have to worry about everybody else. I'm confident that if we can just win this next one and then move, then we're in control of what we need to control. And so that's really the message to the guys is just focus on Pittsburgh and don't worry about anything else right now.